create something that for people to take action.
Yeah, no, definitely. So we got some people funneling in here. We got about 15. We'll start when we have 30 or 50 or so. Um, and then again, guys, this Q&A is for both me and for Foliko. I'll let Mr. Nathan introduce himself in just a moment when we get started. Um, and yeah, just bring your questions. Again, if you guys don't know Foliko, that is our newest partnership. That is our AI scanner we have been using for finding our swing trades that we've been mainly on the short side. That within the past few weeks, I've made several thousand on. You saw me make about 3,000 at MLCO. I made about 1,000 on CCL, very light position, and then took one more. I cannot remember it. It's a MU shorted off of earnings, and there's one more I cannot remember.
It may have been Rite Aid, or I'm not sure if it was.
It was Rite Aid or so. I believe, actually, I think it was Neo. Actually, I believe predicted to do pretty. Yeah, it was Neo, and Neo dropped several percent within the past few trading days. Yeah, it was cool. Alrighty, y'all.
When we get started, remind me to talk about the shorts and longs, like the balance between the two. If you can remind me to talk about that when we get started. Sure
can. Looks like we got some people funneling in here. When we get about 30 people, we will get started. A lot of you guys joining. It's awesome. Alrighty, we got about 33. A lot of you guys are joining pretty quickly. We'll give you guys like one more minute, I think I said. Again, guys, this is for you guys. You can ask me questions about profit chasers, about trading, getting started. But I would highly recommend bringing your questions to Foliko so you can further understand our partnership, what we have here. We don't get their time a lot. We will be doing these more, but definitely want to utilize the time we have with them. So if you have any questions between those two, all you have to do is raise your hand. You could do two things. You can throw it in general chat and I can read it, or you can raise your hand virtually. We can bring you on stage and you can ask your question that way. And remember, for everyone who has joined today, you're going to be receiving a 50% off code for everything. We might. Oh boy, I might have to extend that. I'll talk to Dagan. Maybe even extend that for the merch side of things. But already got 37 of y'all in here. Appreciate everyone for joining. I'm not going to talk as much because we do have Nathan here. Nathan, maybe introduce yourself, introduce Foliko, and then we can kind of get started answering some questions.
Sure. Thanks, Jason. And this is a great opportunity. Thanks for inviting me to speak to everyone. First of all, I am really excited. I really felt the excitement when I found out you guys were trading and ripping it yesterday. I just want to congratulate everyone who followed Jason's lead on the trade yesterday. That was fantastic. It actually got me energized, so it's pretty cool. My name is Nathan Solmos. I'm the Chief Growth Officer at Sinner AI. Sinner AI is how I pronounce it. And my job as Chief Growth Officer is kind of a strange title and everything, but essentially the way I explain it is that I work with some really smart data scientists and really smart technology people. And my job is to build a product that people can use using this very high level of technology. And we wanted to make it accessible to everyone, consumable, and most importantly, we want to bring benefit to everyone. And then once we build a product, I then have to bring it to market. And I have to find the right people that already have trading strategies and trading skill sets. And I really believe that Jason, those of you that are following Jason's lead, the skill sets you are learning are lifelong wealth building skill sets. It's absolutely like one of my 4 core components to being a successful investor, but we can get into that later. And also, Jason, just as a side note, I have some material that I'm preparing for ProfitCon right now. So it's kind of hot in my mind right now.
Excellent.
So if it slips out a little bit, I'm going to go more into detail on some of these things during ProfitCon.
Nice. Yeah, so guys, again, remember ProfitCon is our in-person event we are having in Nashville. We did rent out one of the, if not, I think it is one of the biggest resort in Nashville. Again, that is September 10th. Foliko is going to be presenting there, is going to be a guest speaker. Super excited to have them. You guys are going to be able to meet the team, ask them questions in person, see what they have planned with their software, what they have planned for the future. So definitely don't want to miss out on that. But yeah, don't spill too many of the beans, I guess, if you will.
All right, I won't spill too many beans.
Okay.
But so basically, once I build the product, I have to bring it to market, and essentially finding partnerships, finding the right groups of customers like yourselves or potential customers that are seriously dedicating their time and your capital, your money, to becoming a better investor. That's who I want to find, because I feel like Foliko is a tool that has never existed before. I can talk about the technology, and I promised Jason that I wouldn't turn this into a technology seminar, but this is high tech stuff, and it's going to transform people's investment styles. Whether you're very seasoned or you've already learned kind of your style and your investment outlook, I guess. Whether you're a swing trader, a day trader, position trader, whatever, momentum swing or whatever your style is, I believe we have data and uniqueness and unique signals that you can't find anywhere else. So, and my philosophy around tool sets is there are certain core tool sets out there to become a better, more successful trader. And everybody has an opinion on what's the right tools. But I am excited for people to try Foliko to see if we make like the top 3, top 5 tool set and the most professional and most successful traders tool set. That's my goal as the chief growth officer.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's my humble introduction.
We are getting some people that actually want to know the tech side behind it. Team, we did shoot a podcast with them last week. It is up on our YouTube. So if you guys are actually really interested in the tech behind it, on how this company actually started, really cool story, I'd suggest giving that a look. Again, that was about an hour-long podcast I shot with them, I believe last Thursday. It is up on the YouTube. So for those of you who really want to understand the tech side of it, definitely would go give that a watch.
Would you want me to do a 90-second explanation of it?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I'll do a 90-second explanation of the technology, but this is by no means capture everything that's going on. Essentially, we've invented or we've created a new type of artificial intelligence. It's called directional NLP. The NLP stands for natural language processing. What our machines do is read all the world's news, business articles, investment articles. Maybe there's a top investment analyst writing a piece or something. We read, I don't know, over 100,000 articles a night. I can't remember the exact number, but it's mind-boggling, really. And what happens is we turn those articles into data points, and we have videos on how we do that. We turn articles into data points. The data points then get synthesized into something we call health factors, which is the core of Foliko, is the 6 health factors. And then from there, we create alpha generating signals, market signals. We know in advance when someone's going to have a bad earnings call or a good earnings call. We know in advance when the management team is just floundering and they can't get their act together, and they got union strikes, they got all this stuff, and it hasn't been baked into the stock price yet. But we've synthesized it through all sorts of different news articles around the world, down to your local paper. Well, not so much local papers, they're kind of useless, but that's a little dramatic. But essentially, this is a machine reading everything and then synthesizing it into a trading signal for you.
So,
Uh,
a little background on my end with the partnership, real quick. A lot of you guys have asked why we don't have any partners and things like that, and it's quite literally I'm not going to partner with a company or a brand or a software that I don't personally believe in. Now, when they reached out to me, um, I was a little skeptical at first, and then I said, you know what? Give me a few weeks to try out the software. Let me see if I like it. Let me see if if they're telling the truth. You know what I mean? And that's exactly what I did. And I didn't tell you guys from how I found those short positions on those stocks, but that's how I found them. So I love using Foliko to kind of back up my reasoning behind the trade. I love looking at the sector outlook it gives me. And I just love kind of reaffirming myself with, okay, this software is also agrees with me, or maybe it disagrees with me, and maybe I should do some further research. And what are the points that are telling me maybe not to go into this trade? So it's always good to have that second opinion, if you will. Now, real quick, let's see some of the questions you guys may have. Again, you can raise your hand, put it in general chat. I do have a video walking through this software on my YouTube so you guys can see the interface and exactly what we're looking for. I would share my screen right now, but this stupid Discord won't let me do it on the studio. So again, you guys can virtually raise your hands, ask questions. Again, it could be for me for trading. It can be for Foliko. It could be anything. One of you guys said, how do I get private lessons? So over time, not so fast is already on it. All of the premium members get one-on-one lessons alongside with these group lessons I do multiple times a week with the team. Does anyone know a free stock website scanner? Let me know. Expected to go up or down. This is quite literally what we're talking about. This actually does that. It tells you when a stock is expected to go up or down given the time horizon. So if you look at the screenshot I sent, this was actually today's forecast right at the homepage of Foliko, and you can see it gives an outlook of what these stocks are projected to do given the time frame. For example, CS, the next 90 days, they project it's going to be down around 37%. Now, it gives you a range. It's not going to be exactly down 37%, but that is one that they do have their eyes on, along with NLCH, Open Door Technologies. You can see that those are the stocks they project to go up or down. Okay. Is there anyone raising their hand?
Can I just add to that, Jason? Do you mind?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so there's a very interesting story behind the stock price predictions or forecasts. They range from 1 day to 90 days, essentially, or 12 weeks. And in between, you have 1 day, 1 week, 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, and so forth. And at those different intervals, think about them as different AI consultants or advisors. And they're all independent. So the 4-week prediction model is not talking to the 2-week prediction model. And so what we have, you can witness a very high conviction in the trade opportunity when all those advisors are in agreement. And kind of what Jason was saying just a few moments ago, he uses Foliko as a decision support tool or trade conviction tool or whatever. That's exactly the same mentality we built in to the stock price forecasting. So if the stock forecast is constantly up and down, maybe that is true. That maybe that is going to happen, but that's not a high conviction trade for me. My background is I'm a swing trader. That's my style, and I can talk about that if you get anyone interested. But I wait for everyone to be lined up so that my conviction is very high. So my point in interrupting, Jason, was that those time intervals and the predictions are actually independent. But when they line up, it's like the moon's lining up, that kind of, like they're all in agreement kind of thing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to explain that a little bit.
So someone asked, what is the accuracy? Two people asked that. Now, I did have this conversation with Travis, I believe, but do you want to kind of talk about the accuracy behind Foliko. And before we go into that, a lot of you guys asking about the price and things like that. First of all, there's a 7-day free trial to see if you guys like it. And then because you tuned in, we're going to be giving you guys a 50% off code. So it's marked down from $200 a month to $100 a month. Again, that comes with all of the Foliko software. And that, do you guys have the code yet? How are you guys, or is it already marked down given the link we have?
Yeah, your Profit Chasers group link has already been updated with the
Okay,
pricing change,
cool.
and we're very excited about that.
Yeah. So real quick, do you want to go into the accuracy behind Foliko?
Sure. I get this question a lot, guys, and I don't like beating around the bush. But I also know my lane. And when Jason said that he spoke to Travis in an earlier meeting, Travis is a world-class data scientist, and I don't like stepping on his toes. And you should definitely seek out his explanation of the accuracy, because you can imagine with all the different time frames and the different ranges that we have, it's hard to judge accuracy. But I'll tell you this: last week, on record or on video or whatever, we, out of all the different signals we get, it's literally in the hundreds on any given day, whether you're looking for a long signal or a short signal. But we choose a few that have a narrative around them or a theme around them. When we talk about them on videos, they're recorded, and we were 6 for 7 last week. Now, is that cherry picking? I don't know. Maybe it is a little cherry picking because, when you get in front of camera, you want to be talking about things that you are pretty confident about, so like high conviction trades. And yeah, so we were talking about high conviction trades, but 6 out of 7, that is pretty high conviction. So maybe there's something going on there. But overall accuracy, I don't really want to speak to, Jason, because it's not my role in the company. You know what I mean? It's not. I don't know how to explain it properly.
Okay. So for the high conviction trades, how can members see that?
Okay, so within Foliko, we have different tool sets to help you find those high conviction trades based on, some parameters of what you're looking for. Because not everyone's the same, right? Like, so Jason wants to see what's this hot sectors for the sympathy volume or whatever. You can explain it better than I can. And there's different people looking for different things. So we have a whole tool set. We have a leaderboard, which gives you the top leaders based on price prediction every day. And we also have our health factors, which I haven't explained yet, but you can find the highest ranked companies on each health factor or the lowest ranked companies on each health factor. And these health factors themselves are indicators. They're leading indicators. So one of the health factors is called earnings power. And this is this is why companies are publicly traded. They need to perform. They need to make money for their investors and their shareholders. So earnings power is a very powerful indicator, both on the upside and the downside. And when the earnings power changes direction, or there's other things that we teach you through videos to identify, the stock usually follows suit in the coming days and weeks. And when I say usually, that's what you say. Oh, how often? What percentage? I don't have a percentage for the accuracy. I'm sorry, but I don't have like 86 or 88% or something. I don't have those percentages. But if you invest the time to become a power user, in my definition of power user, you will find signals that are tradable on a regular basis.
I think it would be extremely hard to map that, given the fact you guys have an outlook on almost every single stock listed. So being able to kind of calculate the accuracy behind that. However, I know in my own self, I've now taken 4 plays on it, and I like to use a 12-week outlook because I'm a day trader. I am, in my opinion, I am, of the best traders out there, I guess you could say. And so I like to use the software where I'm weak at. I am of the worst swing traders out there. I'm someone several years ago where if the company I thought was cool or the product was cool, I would invest in it. That's not really, no financials or anything. So being able to have this, I now can be an efficient swing trader as well, and that's helped me a lot. I would not have found any of these swing trade plays without them, just because that's not my forte. It's not what I'm good at. So I've taken now 4 of the swing trade plays, and my favorite is the 12 to 6 week outlook, and I've made minimum 10% on every single one of them. So you can start to see how the profits do indeed add up. And I shared all these trades with you guys, so you guys know that this is not me lying or tooting my own horn. This is simply trades I have taken, and I could show you guys the statements if you'd like. And I still continue. I have not used software for several months. I believe I've been using it for about 2.5 months. So I will continue to show you guys, the winners and losers going forward. So real quick, you guys are having some general chat questions. Success says, how much does premium cost when you sign up? That is assuming for the Profit Chasers Academy. Good question. We have 3 plans. If you do get accepted, we have a quarterly, a yearly, and a lifetime. We also have grants to go along with them, meaning if you meet all of our criteria, we give up to 50 to 75% off. And everyone who comes to ProfitCon also gets 75% off. If you guys are in here, you get 50% off all plans, given you guys actually get accepted. And we have we're hovering around the 50% acceptance rate. We've bumped it up from about 30% in the past few weeks. The quarterly goes from $840, so knock down 50% would be $420. With the coupon code, the yearly would be $2,250 and lifetime would be $4,500. If you guys would like to see what those plans come with, all the course outlook, all the one-on-one lessons and group lessons, feel free to DM me. I have all the tuition plans for you guys on our website. So you don't mind going over exactly what do I get if I sign up for the stock scanner? Yeah, good question. Again, I have a video kind of going over all of this, guys. Unfortunately, I can't share my screen and show you it. I can show you screenshots, so it's going to be kind of hard to imagine. Let me just screenshot, I guess, what I'm looking at right now. This is the, I guess, dashboard, if you will. It gives you the sector outlook from far right-hand corner. I'm on my stretched monitor, so that's why that screenshot's so wide. The far right corner is the sector outlook. This is my favorite as a day trader because I get to see the popping and trending sectors of the week. For example, in February, we saw that the energy sector went ballistic. On here, I'm sure the energy sector was ranked probably number 1 at the time. That's one thing I look for day trading. For swing trading, I look at today's market forecast. I also look at stocks I'm already interested in. For example, CVNA, you guys know I'm shorting CVNA. So if I go to Carvana and I look at what it's projected to do, it'll give me a price graph. It'll tell me where it's expected to go, along with positive and negative issues alongside of it. From there, you can go to those health factors, and it will actually tell you exactly what those health factors are. If it be management, reputation, earnings power, alongside with tons of company news, just like that. Hopefully those screenshots help kind of visualize it for you guys. Going down the next question. So you said, when do you know how to start trading? You're nervous to start. I'm 20 and married with a kid. I get that. I get you like the stable income. I totally understand that. And no one says you have to jump in this full time. Don't think you have to. How do I say this? Don't think you have to go in like. How can I say this PG wise? Like everything you have, if you will. I was going to say something else. And the point is, you can start with a few $100s. You can even start practice or simulate trading. You can put $500 in a Thinkorswim account or Moomoo account, and then you can have live data to then paper trade. So you get to kind of see the numbers beforehand. And then you can start stashing away excess capital you may have, from your job or whatever source of income you have to start. But there's always going to be risk. Like Finn said, you got to take that risk. And just like, I took that risk when I was younger. Everyone in here is taking the risk for trading. You only make the money taking a risk that doesn't come to you. I really like that. It's actually a good one. And I fully agree with that. It's going to be nerve-wracking, but you're going to get used to it. Obviously, sizing up yesterday, I had a $15,000 day yesterday. I had to step away. My heart was beating extremely fast. I went and golfed a little bit with my friends to simply get out of the office, just because still to this day, there's times where it's nerve wracking. Today I wasn't trading with much size, so I wasn't, like that. But when I start to really step up to the plate, size up, I still get nervous, just like any other professional would. Um, Last play of a game or something like that. It is kind of the same feeling, if you will, and it'll never go away. It's only going to slowly dwindle. Hopefully, in several years, I can fully get to a point where I'm never nervous. But I think that's kind of the fun for me, is that because trading is so scalable, because I can simply just continue to increase my positioning. There's always going to be a next step, if you will, in trading. And the first step is simply starting, opening an account, funding that account, and then learning how to trade. And that's just kind of getting your feet wet. I think you're going to be a whole lot less nervous.
Jason, can I add to that?
You sure can.
I just want to add to something that you probably you said earlier. I just want to highlight for everyone what type of leader you are and mentor for everyone. If you guys notice on Jason's live stream earlier, which I listened to, and I very much like it and enjoy it, he was explaining this 15K day, and his first piece of advice after after that energy, he was like, I just wanted to prepare for a red day. I don't know exact words that you use. I'm sorry, I'm butchering it. But you said something like, these are the days that you also prepare for the red days.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
And that is true advice and leadership and guidance, like exactly the type of thing that you hear from professional world-class traders.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, that's exactly it. On these big green days, I understand the high of winning. It can be gone with the blink of an eye of a red trade. So for the green days I do have, someone asked me, why don't you just take money out of your account and go spend it on yourself and reward yourself? Well, yeah, I could do that, but when I have a red day, do I put a bunch more money into my account? I don't. So the best thing for me to do is to understand, did I succeed? Yes, that was an awesome trade. But I have to prepare my mind that I'm going to then have another red day. So if I can prepare myself by understanding the next trade I take, is this a quality trade, or am I simply going to just take it because I have a high of winning, if you will. Today I sized down immensely. I did not think today it would go as parabolic as it did. I still made over $1,000 on it, but it wasn't a $15,000 green day because I was trying to prepare myself. Each day is a new opportunity. So I don't bring, for example, I didn't bring my day in today going, I'm up $15,000 yesterday, so I can do whatever the hell I want. That's not the case. Same way, if I lost $3,000 on Monday, I had a $1,600 red day. Obviously, I was kind of beating myself up because I knew the mistakes I made. But what I did do is I learned from it, I journaled from it, and I was preparing for the next day, which ended up being the best day I've had, this year. So on the red days, get excited for the green days, and on the green days, prepare for the red days. It's the best way I've found to balance trading without having the highs and lows. The reason I did that is when I was younger, I found when I first started, my days, all my friends knew if I had a green day or red day. They didn't even know what trading was. They simply knew by my attitude for the day if I had a green or red day. And if that's how you're going to trade, I figured out then trading is really not worth it. Okay, for you, if it's going to change your life based on the P&L you have, trading simply isn't worth it. That's just my personal opinion. I know it's off topic. No off topic questions here. But do you invest in crypto? What are your thoughts on it? I do. I actually do. I was heavily short crypto over the past few months, and obviously that paid out. However, I'm a big time blockchain and crypto investor. We are actually going to be building. Actually, I can't tell you that. But yes, I am a big time crypto investor. Not as much as I'd like. I'm not a professional. I just pay professionals to tell me what they like and what prices they like, and I simply mimic that, and I throw that into the premium crypto channel. Again, we mimic Orca Capital, their hedge fund, and I found it's better to do that because day trading crypto is, in my opinion, impossible. Next question: how to overcome this when you trade a stock and make a little profit in excited or exited, but when you look back at the stock and now it's skyrocketing, that's where you feel like you wish I hold on to those shares. Excellent question, Success. The best answer I can give you is: do you sell all out at once or do you average out? For example, I found a short position on Foliko. It was MLCO. I started shorting at 6:30. And Foliko kind of told me the projections, told me why, and I liked it. So I started shorting it, and it tapped my first price target of $5. So I averaged out a little bit. I bought back half my position or quarter. Then it went down to 480. I bought back a little bit more. So as you can see, as it continued to fall, I continued to lock in more and more profit. I did not sell all out at once. Had I done that, I would not have made that much money. So in my personal opinion, what you should do is learn to average out. You see me do this every single day in the live stream, and even on the Foliko software, it's no different. Just because it hits that price target does not mean you should sell all out at once. Learn to average out as it continues to drop to increase your win rate. That's just would be my best answer I'd have for that one. Are you going to ever increase your daily or weekly goal? Yes, I actually did this in the hot market. My daily goal at one point for about 2 weeks was about $10,000 a day. The market was stupid hot, and that gave me the opportunity to size up, to make more money. And that was my daily goal for about 2 weeks, was about $10,000. And I was as consistent as I am hitting my $1,000 goals. Now I have to scale back given the market conditions, but as I progress as a trader, I surely am. At the start of the year, true story, I put $300,000 in my account because I wanted my new daily goal to be $3,000 a day. But I found it was too much of a jump for me to go from 100K to 300K in a colder market. So I've actually scaled back, and I've been trading with like anywhere from 25,000 to 50,000 lately. So I'm going to, yes, eventually increase it, but I need to not take such a dramatic jump and learn to steadily increase it as time goes on. It's hard to reach that goal, 100 a day or 1,000 a day. When you're trading with the account size I am, with the, I guess, lessons I've learned, in my opinion, it hasn't been too hard. I felt like this week was a little mentally demanding, but like I said, I'm up about $20,000 in the week. My weekly goal is 5,000. I don't always hit it, but this week was definitely a blessing, and it's only Wednesday. So it is starting out is extremely hard, but as you gain more experience, it starts to get easier and easier and easier. And I personally think I'm getting better and better every single day. I watch highlights of me trading a week ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, and I just cringe. And I think in 2 more years, I'm going to look at highlights of me trading now, and I'm going to cringe. Where's it scanning so much news? Does it have a Catalyst calendar feature or anything like that? So this is a question for Nathan. Where is it scanning so much news? I know it's off of multiple media outlets. Like, I can send you a screenshot. I see Business Wire, Motley Fool, Washington Times, Fortune, Benzinga, and I'm sure there's a ton more.
Yeah, there are a ton more. I don't even know the number off the top of my head. Over 1,000 of the recognizable top news outlets. And what we do is we also use AI to pre-filter the news. So if there's articles that are written about, let's say Walmart, the stock Walmart, and there's nothing in the article that's going to be, so that article is broken up into pieces, into sentences, and each sentence has a value. And if there's no value to the article, you're not going to see it. So you're only going to see the articles that are actually moving the stock. And you don't see that on the surface, Jason. This is actually like a kind of behind the scenes explanation. Is even in our news stream, which is always on the right hand side of that one page that you screenshot, there's AI deciding which articles to display to you based on its relevance and importance to the stock price. And that alone is already market leading right there. So there's other people that have news streams almost on every single stock, software type of service. This one is different. This one's this one was built by news analytics geniuses.
Hmm.
But yeah, there's many news outlets. If you wanted to get a list, I could probably compile a list, and maybe we'll do like a video about that, and I'll share the video link with you guys, and
As a
I'll do
two-parter, he said because it's gaining so much news, does it have a Catalyst calendar feature?
this Catalyst calendar feature. Um, you know what? I actually would be interested in discussing that with the person that asked the question to understand what they're talking about. But there's no such calendar that I know that I've built in Foliko. But I think what they might be asking is, how do you know what's coming out of the news articles that's the catalyst? Well, actually, it's a lot more than that. And there's AI that's reading between the lines, in fact. So if you have I'm just giving you one example. If you have a journalist that always writes positive news about Walmart for the past 12 weeks, and then all of a sudden they write an article that has some skepticism and some negativity and some whatever to it, that difference in the journalist's, opinion is taken into consideration. And also we know the reach, or we call the topical echo of that journalist. Like how much do people actually listen to that journalist, and how much is that journalist actually correct? And so there's very many layers to it. There's no singular catalyst. It's more about pattern recognition. If you think about the wisdom of the crowds mentality, people are writing about what stocks are going to go up and go up or go down tomorrow. You just can't, as a human, put it all together in your brains and read it and comprehend it all. And now I can't either, but machines can. And so we figured out how to do that.
Mm.
And we tried to not create catalyst recognition, but in the form of our 6 health factors, if those start spiking or dropping, that to me would be a definition of a catalyst or a signal. So hopefully that answers your question. It's not a calendar based; it's real time. Like it's every day there could be a new change in direction for a company in like an earnings power score or something. So I would be interested in learning more about what you mean by catalyst calendar, but that's how I would explain it, Jason.
McTrader, I know you're in here. Would you mind actually coming on stage and if you have a proper mic to ask if you're riding in your motorcycle, maybe not. But yeah, that would be, guys. Now's the time to ask your questions. You don't have to just type them out. You actually can raise your hands if you guys have a mic or whatnot. We do about 15 more minutes, y'all. So let's keep the questions coming. Don't forget, if you guys even want to test Foliko out, there is a 7-week free trial for y'all. Again, because you are part of the Profit Chaser Discord, you do get 50% off. You don't get that outside of this Discord. So if you are interested, make sure you use that link, save you some money, and definitely take advantage of that 7-day free trial. But we do have 15 more minutes for some more questions. Sir Foliko, oh, he's asking, he's prepping his question. Okay. Yep, that's exactly how Nathan looks.
That is exactly how I look.
That's funny. That's a good one.
I live in the
Alrighty.
mountains as well. I don't know if
Yeah.
that's what
Yeah, you
know what it is.
know. Alrighty, y'all. Like I said, now's your time. No questions are dumb questions. Seriously. Feel free to bring them. It could be
I
Foliko
I have a
trading.
question. I have a question for the group, maybe, and if there's someone that wants to speak up or something. But well, first of all, for you, Jason, what's the split here with the audience in the group between swing trader, day trader, unidentified identity? Like what's the split of people that might be listening right now? Do you know?
So I know about 50% of these, ladies and gentlemen, are part of our academy, if not more, or have been. I also know that a majority of them are day traders. However, I know there's a serious amount of some swing traders sprinkled in here. But I also know there's a lot of day traders who wouldn't mind getting better at swing trading, like me, because that's an extra source of income that I in years prior was more of a liability. I could show you guys my statements from a swing trading account. Actually, matter of fact, take that back. I'm not going to because it's embarrassing. I'm not a good swing trader. So being able to make money on what I'm good at, and that is day trading, to be able to then reinvest. A lot of you guys ask me, do I reinvest my profits into the market? And I say, hell no. I put it into real estate is my go-to, and my business. Those are my two I reinvest in. Occasionally a little crypto. Now that I have the opportunity to actually make money reinvesting in the market aside from day trading, gets me really excited because the stock market is indeed my favorite market. To take advantage of. So it is really cool to be able to have that. And I know I sound really excited. It's because I am. Because I've never been, except for when I first started my career and I used to YOLO on some stocks. Other than that, I have never made good gains on swing trading. Does Foliko also help with ETF/futures? Good question.
Oh, I'll take that. And can I just tag on to the previous answer? First of all, there's an old saying. I think it's very old on Wall Street. I've been in banks for 20 years, so I've heard these different sayings. And the sayings is that recessions is what really builds millionaires. And I know I'm not trying to be dramatic or whatever, but if you think about it, all the air is out of the tires in the market essentially. And when they start putting air back into the tires, the day traders are going to go nuts first. The day traders will get that volatility first, but then you can definitely amplify catching that bottom in the ride to the turnaround if you had some swing and position trades as well, just like Jason was saying. So I 100% agree with what you're doing. I'm not a good day trader. I don't have the nerves for it really, to be honest with you. So I can't. I decided a long time ago I can't do it. But a lot of these patterns at the swing level take time to develop. There's still a supply and demand issue, just like there is in intraday. But the supply and demand patterns take longer to develop. That's basically what the difference is. So ETFs, very good question. Explicitly ETF recommendations and signals we do not have right now. There's no inventory of ETFs. You look it up and see what Foliko says about it. We are going to work on that as a future product release. But honestly, we have the sector profiling and the sector outlooks where it's a proxy for ETFs. I'm not going to say whether I like iShares or this shares or that shares. I don't know. There's all different brands of ETFs, and I don't really want to get into that business of recommending which ones are better or whatever. But our sector profiles would absolutely find the sectors will outperform the market. Sectors, if you want to put two sectors against each other and find out which sector is more likely to outperform over the next week, 12 weeks, or whatever, the Foliko will absolutely support that decision making. So it's not going to quote the prediction on a iShares semiconductor ETF, but if you want to look at the sector view, I think you'll be very impressed and very informed to make an ETF investment decision. So that I would say yes, but not explicitly.
Mm-hmm.
It's not gonna. We don't quote any ETF.
Gotcha.
But like I said, try it out, and I think that you'll be pleasantly surprised.
So one more question before we head off. We might have time for two. How long did the development of Foliko take? We went into this on the podcast, but maybe do you want to answer that while we have people here?
Oh yeah, it was like, so first of all, there's the model development, and then the infrastructure development, and then finally the front end or the UI. And Foliko is the end, consumer, the end user UI, user interface. The models, I believe, started in 2017 or 2018, the model development. So Travis invented a new type of artificial intelligence. That took a while. And I think that began in 2017, 2018. I did not join forces with Travis until 2020, but I've known him since early 2019. So anyway, the UI, the Foliko UI, we built starting in the fall of last year, and it was finished in the spring of this year. And that's basically just finding the right, what do investors need at their fingertips? How do they use our signal and take, different user journeys and user paths and really turn this into a decision-making tool. And so I've thought about different investment styles, different, methodologies. And if there's tool sets and skill sets and mindsets, I think Jason got you covered with the skill sets and the mindsets and the different methodologies. But Foliko is absolutely should be in your armor, in your ammo quiver, or whatever analogy you want to use as a tool, so you don't have to worry about sourcing your trade ideas. You don't have to worry about second guessing yourself. You have a institutional, and when I say institutional quality, I mean hedge funds. Okay, I talk to hedge funds very often, and this technology is if you ask me, it's superior, but if you ask them, it's on par with what they're using. And these are quantitative, systematic hedge funds. I won't name
Funds
any
or
names.
softwares that funds do not want you to have, because it makes
Yeah,
an unlevel playing field. The funds are here to take the retail investors' money. So simply by having the same exact software or better software than the funds don't like that. That's kind of something to know, and that's really cool. I love how it levels the playing field. And in the
yeah,
podcast, I suggest you guys go listen to it. But the creator of Foliko, Travis, right? That is the creator of Foliko. I can say that.
yeah.
Okay.
He's the genius behind everything.
Okay.
Yeah,
So he actually started by building AI that would predict elections, and so that is
yeah.
something that was really cool. But he didn't like the business
Which they
model
still do, by
making.
the way.
Oh, they do. Okay, interesting. But he didn't like the business
Social
model
still do
making
that. They
making
still do.
money once every 4 years. It's kind of a hard business model. But just to kind of give you guys a little, uh, you know, background, if you will. So definitely crazy, awesome team. How much time do you spend a week researching and trading? Good question. I'm gonna take a sip of water real quick. So researching, none. I do not do any research at all. Point blank zip. A lot of you guys can say, "Well, that's unnecessary," or "You should be doing more research." Well, I am all about the TA, not about the fundamentals. Do I care about how much money PGA or PGY makes, year over year when the stock is soaring up 50%? I don't. I don't care. It doesn't matter. All that matters is what do the technicals look like. I'm a technical trader. So on the end of researching, obviously we build our premium weekly watch list, which takes a lot of time, diving into the market, diving into. I lied. That's a bit. I do a little bit, not much. I dive into obviously interest rates and things like that. But a majority, I don't do nearly as much as people think, and it's because I now have tools, such as Foliko, that can kind of bring everything to me. Now, when it comes to trading, I trade for, as far as sitting down, like, I guess in the saddle, if you will, about an hour and a half to 2 hours a day. But I'm at my desk all day working on business and in my other investments. And so if I see a stock ripping on my scanner, I'm going to continue to trade it, which does lead um, to me trading more than an hour and a half a day. However, I usually, like 95% of my executions are between 9:30 and 10:30, if that kind of gives you a better look. So as far as timing goes, put it this way: I was a full time college student and traded. I was a full time construction worker, full and a half. I worked 60 hours a week construction, and I still traded. A lot of it was running to the bush to pretend to pee to go check my stocks. But you can still trade, especially swing trade. Day trading is a lot harder with a full time job, but I did do it. I worked in a marina and changed my shifts so I could day trade and work a full time job. So I don't do, I guess, as much work as people think, but that's kind of why I got into trading. I wanted to build a lifestyle where I can make the most amount of money in the shortest amount of time to be able to do what I want to do with the people I like. and that was simply what I wanted. All I want to do, because what's the point of obviously I work a lot from business and stuff like that, but it's because I love it. But I always tell traders that sit at their desk from 7 to 7, if you will. Like, what's the point of that? You're escaping a 9 to 5 to work or sit down at your desk 7 to 7. Is that worth it to you? Maybe, not to me. So that kind of answers your question. Alrighty, y'all. We kind of are at the 1 hour mark. We'll just let some last second questions funnel in and see. Wow, my computer is a laggy.
Jason, I'll add to your last comment just for 30 seconds. I would say that one of the key value propositions, the reasons why we built Foliko was actually, we can't quantify because it's very difficult to quantify, but saving investors and traders time in their morning prep and their evening prep and all that research time. We absolutely, from feedback from our customers and different people that helped us test it, it saves tremendous amount of time, and you come to the same conviction or the same decision to trade or not trade. But you come to that conclusion so much faster with Foliko because we point you in the direction of where are the risks, where's the upside, where's the downside, where's the headwinds, where's the tailwinds, and we already do that for you. It's called explainable AI. So if AI just gives you a prediction, we also give you a prediction and a supporting evidence, and that's how you define like explainable AI. And I think we're pretty much the only stock or invested relating software that's explainable AI. So it's not just black box. We will tell you how we came to the conclusion and the prediction and the price targets and everything. So wanted to add that. Sorry.
No, all good, man. Alrighty, y'all. McTraders. Oops, my bad, man. I didn't see your hand up. Boom. Invite you to speak. Shoot, not sure how long it was up, my man. But if you want to click move to stage, you'll be able to ask your question. I'll give him a second. It might have been a little bit longer. Wow, my Discord is lagging. Jason, is it possible to make an all-right amount of profit starting with a little over $100? It depends on what an all-right amount of profit is for you. If you're trading with $100, your daily goal should be $1 a day. I shoot for 1% a day. Obviously, the trade I took yesterday, given the percent gain, you would have made $10. So $100 is just not a ton to start with. It all depends on what all right amount of profit. Appreciate your time, guys. Hey, I appreciate you guys. I often say this: time is your most valuable asset you all have. None of us are guaranteed an unlimited amount of it. So the simple fact that you guys spend your most valuable asset with me and with my team, I want to make sure we're giving you guys our best. So I do appreciate you guys for tuning in and asking your questions. We're going to be doing these free kind of Q&As every Wednesday. Again, guys, I do these with my team. We do 2 a week at least. We do 2 to 3 a week, and we have lessons going in with PDFs, and we have structure into the lessons, so they're very productive. And then I record them and then throw them in archives for our team. So if you guys kind of like these Q&A styles, again, we do these practically every day, but there's a little bit more structure than the open one we had today. Okay, I think that's it. McTrader, I think his hand was raised for a while, and I just didn't click on it, and I forgot to ask him up. But that is going to do it for the first Q&A, guys. Remember, as we head out, free week trial, 50% off. I would highly, highly recommend you utilize those 2 things. I'm not sure how much longer they're going to have it. Again, all you have to do is go up to Stock Scanner under our shop in our Discord, and then you will have you can be able to check those out. If you guys have any questions, please DM him. He's under Foliko support. You guys can see under the Foliko support team, or just at them in general chat under Foliko support, or DM him. we are here for you guys to help answer questions or anything you might have.
Yeah, I'm on Discord all the time, basically every time I'm on my desktop. So I'm happy to help anyone answer any questions. But thanks for the time, Jason. It was a great dialogue.
Yeah, no problem. Appreciate the conversation with you guys. Alrighty, y'all. If you want more information, we do have the podcast I filmed with, I guess, some of the brains, the other brains behind the project that is on my YouTube. Alrighty, y'all. Have an excellent rest of your day.
Thanks, everyone.